Hey everybody, I'm here with Gord Dmytriw of Dmytriw Consulting, and Gord is one of the members of the professional development team for ACEC members, and he's going to tell us a little bit about his program. Hey Gord, how are you doing today?
Doing good, Scott.
Good. So I know we've talked about this, but for the benefit of ACEC members, can you describe a little bit about how you help organizations and people do even better at what they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So, I've recently kind of eased into semi-retirement. Was for the last 12, 13 years working for a company called ThinkShift, an advertising agency here in Winnipeg. And, my practice area was around helping leadership teams and companies align their culture to their brand. And so in that context, I did a lot of work with leadership teams around leadership development, because a critical part of culture nurturing is how that culture approaches leadership. Yes. And so the material that I have it has benefited from my experiences at ThinkShift, and much of the material I use is from ThinkShift, and they've been kind enough to say, Gord, go forth, use our material.
So given that, why do you feel that this kind of development is important, particularly within, say, engineering and professional services firms?
I like to think of the material that I bring forward as putting hard edges to soft stuff.
Right.
What I mean by that is, we have the hard subjects: engineering, math, physics. Those are hard subjects, and then you've got the soft subjects, HR, personnel, psychology, human interaction, soft stuff,
fluffy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. But it's not really that way, right? You've got the hard stuff is actually easy, because there's principles and practices and modeling to make the hard stuff actually easy.
Right.
But the soft stuff, there traditionally isn't a lot of principles and practices and modeling. And so by applying those kinds of models to the soft or the easy stuff, you actually and you no longer make it hard, because there isn't any models. There are models, and so now that soft stuff is actually much easier. So I think I kind of butchered that explanation a little bit, but I hope you get my sense of it. So it's the soft application of leadership principles and practices, and helping people release their full potentials, not only as employees but as emerging leaders. It's a hard thing to do. And I think the material that I can bring forward, from my days at ThinkShift will really help ACEC members, again, put those hard edges to that soft.
And we've talked before about the idea of taking a process or taking steps and applying a model or a system to leadership to help people have some intentionality about what they do. So it totally makes sense to me. So the last question I have is, you and I have known each other for a long time, but maybe describe the story of Gord, or more specifically, how it is that you feel that your experience will add a layer of value to anyone who wants to take a program and become an even better leader.
Mm-hmm. I've been, my whole career, I've had the good fortune of being sort of inside organizations, either in my role as a salesperson, as a marketing person, and most recently over the last, 13 years or so in the agency world, working with, inside companies, working with leadership teams, and, seen a lot of good, a lot of, been informed with a lot of good sort of leadership practices in my days, and also a little bit of the bad and the ugly, and just learn from all of those experiences. And I think applying, the 8 roles of a leader, which is the model that we use to help leaders be more intentional about how they lead, so they lead as conscious competence rather than unconscious competence.
Yes.
To bring those 8 roles of a leader into the lexicon of an organization, into the way that leaders think about influencing people to sort of think and act and behave differently, is something that I'm really excited to do, and I feel every time I get an opportunity to do it, I feel privileged to do it, because it is something that I get a lot of energy from.
And I love the description of sort of being intentional and the conscious competence And as you say, leadership is something that we do need to work on and be conscious of and keep working at. And, like I said, I've known you long enough that anyone who participates in the program is going to come out with some really good nuggets of goodness and some tools to become even better at what they do. So thanks, Gord, for your time today. Looking forward to continuing working with you, and looking forward to meeting the ACEC members that sign up for the program. Take care.
Thanks, Scott. Me too.
Bye-bye.